Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karne Vishnunyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indra Vruddhashavaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedhaha Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brahaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Last mantra. We'll just chant. Yathornanabhi srujate ghrannate cha. Yathornanabhi srujate ghrannate cha. Yatha pruthivyam oshadayas sambhavanti. Yatha pruthivyam oshadayas sambhavanti. Yatha satah purushat keshalomani. Yatha satah purushat keshalomani. Tatha aksharat sambhavanti havisambhavati havishvam. Tatha aksharat sambhavati havishvam. Can you see me, hear me? Examples of creation and the creator are given to teach us, to unfold for us that Brahman is Avinna Vivarta Upadana Karana. It is both material as well as intelligent cause and not a Vikari or Parinami Upadana Karana. It is not that cause which undergoes the changes. Just as the better example as we discussed last time, I create my dream. I am endowed with the necessary power by which the non-dual as though becomes dual. The sort of powerful, in terms resourceful person as though becomes devoid of all kinds of resources. I don't have water, I don't have vehicle, etc. Thus, between me and the dream creation, between me and the creation that we call it, between me and my creation, what we call a dream creation, there is something called Maya, everything else also between Brahman and the creation, Brahman and everything else, there is something called Maya. Maya means the necessary power, the necessary resources, necessary means for non-dual Brahman to become, I will use this word now, to become many. For Just as I, the non-dual I, becomes many. For Gnana Swarupa Brahman to become Chetan as well as Jad, inert as well as sentient. So also for me the I, and in my creation, that creation is of varieties. I mean, there are it's a varied and many objects and beings. Some of them are sentient and some of them are inert. So, that necessary power to create Jagat is called Maya. This Maya is a cause. What is the nature of Brahman? Yattadreshyam agrahyam avarna chokshu asrotram apani padam etc. It is free from any kinds of attributes. It is free from any kind of form. It is free from any kind of incenses or any roots or any cause. So for that Brahman to become this, that cause we call it Maya. Now, Brahman with reference with Maya as though becomes the Upadana Karanam. Which creation? Which is Vivarta Karanam. It is a material Vivarta Upadana Karanam for that. Are you getting my voice? Now, if you look at the creation, what is the nature of the creation? I am repeating it because quite a few of you mentioned it's very technical and we want more clarity. So I'm just repeating, trying to explain you from other point of view. And should you not understand today, don't worry, it will come again. Okay, this is very subtle, and you have to expose yourself to this thing again and again, and then becomes clear. So try it. Okay. What is the nature of creation? What is the nature of the objects and beings in the creation? To understand the reality of a thing, we have words called Satyam and Mithya. Okay? Please understand, there is no object called Satyam and there is no object called Mithya. Satyam and Mithya are ontological words revealing the reality of a thing about which we are talking. There is nothing called this Vastu is Satya. When it is said the Jagat is Mithya, it is not the Jagat is Mithya. The right sentence should be the reality of the world is that it is Mithya. What is Mithya and what is Maya? Maya is also ontological word to explain something. That's some phenomenon which is not caused, but it is caused for me. Remember my example of a magician creating 110 rupee, 5 rupee notes. I thought it is there, which actually was not there. A thing which is not in reality there, but appears to be there, then it is called Mithya. Our standard example is pot. What is there? If you touch a pot from the top or a bottom or sideways, it is nothing but clay. But basically, it is nothing but clay, but still we call it pot. It has a functional object, functional name, pot we call it, because it carries the water. But the reality of the pot is, it is mithya. There is no real vastu as a pot. Really, there is only a clay in a given form, in a given shape. Like somebody wrote to me about wanting a clarification about the understanding. Okay. What is the very good example, new for a change, a new example, He says, when I see a coin, it is only a matter. But there is the appearance of a coin which is a buying power, not necessarily buying power, weighing power also. On a weighing machine, you can, coin is a weighing power also, not buying power only. Of course, that people don't want to do publicly. That's a separate issue. No, brother should not see the weight, but it's a power. But then coin, that coin is metal. What metal? It is a mixture of metals. Different metal mixed together. This mixture of metal itself appears as a coin with some printing, you can say, not exactly printing, some embossing type of thing. And it gets a buying power. Now, these metals are nothing but various elements. These elements appear as such, are atoms. And these atoms are actually nothing but they are different particles, electron, neutrons, etc. So at no given stage, you can say this is this. Keep on analyzing. But one thing is common. When you say this is rope, this is snake, this is garland, that thisness doesn't stick to any of them. This is rope, then thisness continues to this is snake, this is garland. So all the way there is isness. Okay? When you say nothing, to say even nothing is, there is isness. Nothing, there is nothing. But first comes is. There is nothing. So isness is a truth. Like gold is a truth. Reality of the ornament is gold. Understand? Let me frame the sentence this way. Reality of all the ornaments is gold, into bracket, when they are made of gold. Because the goldness as though permeates in all the forms. In a bangle, in a chain, in a ring or earring or nose ring or whatever. And that goldness permeates even when the bangle is destroyed. You destroy the bangle, melt it, and then make few, let us say, earrings. Then that isness continues. Goldness continues. So also in the creation, the isness is never ever negated. And that isness, we call it as Brahman. And that is you. I is. You cannot say I is not. To say, this is a Vada, there is a Darshanam Shunya. This Atma is Shunya. To say I am Shunya, at least I should be there. I am non-existent. Non-existence. To say that also I should be there. So, that isness is I. And that is Brahman. And that anything other than I, which borrows as though its existence from that isness, its reality is called mithya. Vastu is not mithya. The reality of the objects and the beings of the world is mithya. Okay? Now, what caused this? The factor in between. the Brahman and the Jagat. That isness Brahman, you can say unconditioned isness, unqualified isness. That Brahman is now available as qualified isness, as conditioned Brahman. Attributeless isness has attributes. When you say coin is, metal is, particle is, atom is, etc. It's a qualified isness. That qualified isness is caused by the factor called Maya. What is the reality of Maya? Maya also is mithya. Maya is. The isness of Maya belongs to Brahman. And the capacity of Maya to make this creation also belongs to Brahman. So Satta and the Spurti of the Maya ultimately belongs to Brahman. And that being a case, since it belongs to Brahman, we say Maya belongs to Brahman. But this statement is contradictory in a sense. Brahman is attributeless and still you say Maya belongs to Brahman. You understand? That Maya itself is mithya. The reality of Maya is mithya. Because Maya is, because Brahman is. Maya is able to create the world because it is because of the Brahman is. The Brahman as though endowed with Maya. Maya upahita chaitanyam becomes what? Upadana karanam. I, endowed with my necessary power to create the dream, I become the material cause of the dream. And I am having the necessary knowledge, I am the knowledge. Therefore, it is both abhinna, nimitta, upadana karanam. It is both. And what type of upadana? We have seen earlier. Vivarta upada. Without undergoing any change. Without undergoing any intrinsic change. There is such apparent change. So the status of being cause is also as though. It is all the way as though. Maya is as though. Brahman's status of creator is as though. And the creation is also as though. You know why? Why? Because the created is never ever separate from the creator. The creation of an ornament is also as though, because ornament is never ever away from the material out of which it is created, namely the gold. So the creation is never ever away from its upadana karanam, maya upayukta chaitanyam, maya upadi yukta chaitanyam, you can say Ishvara or Brahman, whatever. And that is as though creation. Okay? That being the case, what is cause effect? Since the cause is something which is there before. Effect is something which comes into being later. Correct? But there is no before and later. It is only one vastu. Gold is before and now also is gold. What comes into being? You can say there was only gold And now there are, remember our Puja Swamiji's example, 100,000 ornaments. But that, what is 100,000 ornaments? That ornaments is as though it's only form, name and form. What is, I told you earlier also, the isness in the ornament belongs to gold. So what is now, though we call it is chain, it is bangle, it is ring, etc., the isness belongs to gold. What it is now is also gold. And what was before also was gold. Correct? So there is no creation in a way. What was? The creation being non-separate from the cause. The very existence of the creation belongs to the cause. Whatever is created is also the as though. So from the standpoint of the Brahman, or let us say this example, from the standpoint of the gold, there is nothing that was before and there is nothing that has come later. From my own standpoint of view, with reference to my dream, there is nothing that was before and there is nothing that has come later. Before also I was there. And now even when the dream is there also I. And when the dream is dissolved, there is nothing but I. It is all the way I. Since it's vivarta karanam, since it is upadana, vivarta upadana karanam, therefore it is also now. It was and it is now. To say that Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asit, there was only Sat, there was only Brahman and the creation came out. These are all limitations of language. This statement that there was only Sat Brahma and now there is a creation is not to prove the creation. It is to make us understand now also there is nothing but there was only gold. Now also there is only that existence of all the ornaments belongs to nothing but gold. So there is no creation. What we call creation is, what we say gold is a creation. Pot is a creation. Is what? From unmanifest to manifest. There was 1 kilo of golden brick, gold brick, not golden brick, gold brick, and created 1,000 ornaments out of 1 kg of gold, supposedly. But then, formally also only gold. In really speaking, now also only ornaments were as though in unmanifest form in the gold. Undifferentiated forms. The differentiation is of only the forms and the names. The undifferentiated vastu is gold all the way. So also, what we call is creation is unmanifest or undifferentiated becomes manifest or differentiable, and again resolves back to unmanifest, undifferentiated state of it, which was previously. So, avyaktadini bhutani, vyakta madhyani bharata, avyakta nidhanan. From avyakta to vyakta, vyakta to avyakta, avyakta to again vyakta. There is a discussion about the same thing in the 8th chapter as well as in the 2nd chapter. So, you can also say, it's undifferentiated to differentiated state, unmanifest to manifest state, to subtle to gross state. So the whole creation is in a way of something which was already there. In reality, it is nothing but manifestation. Gold manifests now as 100 ornaments. Otherwise, it was gold, it is gold, and it will be gold all the way. Nothing has come out. So, it becomes manifest. Then you melt all the ornaments, becomes a brick. Then again create the ornament. It remains same. Exactly like as children we were playing on a sea beach, you know. You make a home, sand home, and then break it and mix it with all the sands. Then again make a home with a door on the eastern side, something like that, you know. As a children, you know, put a flag in the front or front, the back or the top or something. And then keep a passage from, you put your head inside and the other fellow pulls the handle, something like that. It's only what we call creation. Making a home is only manifestation of that sand in the given form. So also, it's a manifestation of Brahman in the form of creation. Here it is caused by me with my hands, with reference to stand. It is caused by the goldsmith with his Kriya Shakti and instrument and fire and whatever. With reference to Brahman, it is caused by none other than Maya. And that Maya itself is mithya. Understand, when I say mithya means the reality. So its reality is mithya, so also the reality of Jagat is also called mithya. Okay? The world has come out. In fact, anything that comes into existence is always there. From a non-existent thing, you cannot have any kind of existence. Abhavat bhava. Like a son of a barren woman cannot give a birth, cannot parent a child of his own, because the fellow himself is not there. The non-existence cannot be the cause of existence. So what was alone has come into being. What was unmanifest has manifested as Jagat. Non-existent, from non-existent Vastu, this existent Jagat cannot come into being. That means Jagat was existent. If it was existent, then why it should come into being? No, it was existence as well as non-existent. That also you cannot say. It's a self-contradictory statement. One Vastu cannot be existent as well as non-existence. So, the right word is that existent Jagat, then how it can come into existence? Then you have to add unmanifest existence, unqualified existence, undifferentiated existence comes into being of what? What type of being? Manifest existence, qualified existence, differentiated existence. And the cause of it is, what causes of this kind of existence is Maya. Okay? So, in case of an ornament, from unmanifest to manifest, intervening factor is what? Goldsmith. His instruments, his skill, his knowledge, his power, everything. That's intervening. So also from that Brahm, from for Brahm, it is Brahman. From Brahman, the creation to come out, or that unmanifest to become manifest. What is intervening factor? That one word is Maya. Okay? That power. Like all that was even the dream. When I see the dream is nothing but unmanifest to manifest. All that I see in the dream is there in my mind. In which form? Thought form. In which form? Unmanifest form. In which form? Desire form. In which form? Pain form. In which form? Form of anger also. Anger, pain, frustration, love, thought, they come out. The only thing is they come out as a undia, all mixture, like a modernite painting, all colors mixed up. You have to find the meaning out of it. It is there. Or if you know the Shastra, you can say it in the form of vasanas, samskaras that was there. That become as though manifest. It comes into being. Because of what? As I began saying, because of my power, I have the necessary power to create the tree. That power, you can say, belongs to me and does not belong to me. Because all the time you don't keep creating dreams. Then it becomes daydreaming, and that's a different problem. The fellow has to be attended into different hospital. If we start daydreaming all the time. What you see, I have a necessary. Whereas in case of Goldsmith, the intervening factor is the goldsmith, his knowledge, and then his powers and resources, etc. In case of Brahman, the intermediate power is nothing but Maya. So Maya upahita chaitanyam. Goldsmith or water may require intervening some aiding factors like water, the wheel, the hand, and etc. Brahman doesn't require anything, just as I don't require any external aid to create my dream. And that power is, as we said, the Maya. Therefore, the Jagat was in unmanifest form. You can say with Brahman, as though my dream was with me in unmanifest form, as though, with me, as though, becomes manifest as though, and then again goes to unmanifest state in me, as though. That in and out is a figurative. The world was in me, dream world. It came out of me and it dissolves into me. There is no in and out, like going out of the home and coming in the house. It's a figurative. So the creation was in Brahman, came out of Brahman, and will go back into Brahman. And going back into Brahman is also a figurative statement. There is no real going back. Why? A real going back can happen if really is coming out. The Jagat has not really come out of Brahman. The dream has not really come out of me. What I see as a dream is nothing but me in a as though form. There is no real coming out. There is no real dissolving. We are, that for Vedanta is not, whenever there is a Srishti Prakriya, Shastra talking about the creation and all that, we are not trying to establish the creative process and the creation. The whole purpose or intent is to prove that there is no creation. It was only Brahman that, now also Brahman, and later on also, people ask question, why creation? But why creation comes? Why did he create like this? It's not a question. We are not trying to prove he created. We are trying to unfold that creation is apparent. Therefore, right word is manifested. He manifested as the creation. Correct? Gold manifests as ornaments. Clay manifests as pots and few other things, utensils. Brahman also manifests as, very beautifully told by our Gujarati poet, Akhila Brahmandama Ekatu Shri Hari Jujve Rupe. Jujve means Rupe. Jujve Rupe means in a varied forms. Ananta Bhase, you appear as many. Ananta Bhase. It doesn't say Ananta Bane. Another poet, that poem or bhajan, there is a word is Akhila Brahmandama Ekatu Shri Hari. Oh Shri Hari, oh Narayana, you alone are there in entire cosmos. But then if you are in the cosmos, then how? Is cosmos is something else and you are inside it? No. Jujve Rupe Ananta Bhase. You appear as many in varied forms. Appear. So, God created this world. When we say this, we don't say that. God appears as though as this world. Isha Vasyam idam sar. Nehananasti kinchana. Sarvam khalu idam brahma. Nehananasti kinchana. So, the so-called created word itself being the Bhagavan. Understand? Itself being what it is. The so-called created ornaments of chain and a bangle, etc., itself is nothing but the gold. So, we are saying the reality of the world is Ishvara. But what caused this? You can attribute it to Maya. What is Maya? Maya is necessary power of that non-dual Brahman to become many as though. Then what is Maya? Then my answer is the reality of Maya is Mithya. What is Maya? I would say it is Mithya. But if I say Mithya alone, there may be a confusion. The reality of Maya is, it is Mithya. Okay? There is, the creative power is as though, and the creation being as though. And since the creative power is Mithya, the created world also is Tatha Aksharat Sambhavati Havishwam. So also from Aksharat, that Akshara Purusha. What is Aksharam? Yatadreshyam Agrayam Akchasku Shotram Avarnam, etc. Described in earlier mantra. From that Akshara, this creation has come about, and the nature of the creation is Mithya. The reality of the creation is Mithya. Understand? Reality of the ornament is Mithya. Reality of my dream is Mithya. When I see a dream and say its reality is mithya, when I see a chain and say its reality is mithya, doesn't mean that chain is not. I'm not saying there is no chain. I'm not denying the existence of the chain. I'm just saying the reality of the chain is mithya. Please understand this word mithya and maya clearly. English language doesn't have the proper translation and cannot have, because they don't have the understanding about it. Unless you have that, there's no word for it, no synonym for it. Like even there are so many English words for which none of Indian language or Spanish language or Japanese language has any synonym. Tell me, what is a synonym for Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi. In Japanese also. Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi in Spanish. Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi is in Portuguese. Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi in Chinese. No change. So also, there is no synonym for mithya and maya in English. Okay? No, there is some synonym. What is the synonym for mithya? Mithya. Okay? Mithya is a synonym for mithya. Mithya, you have to say that. There is no synonym. No synonym for maya. We are talking about reality. The reality, therefore I said it's an ontological word. Ontology is a branch of physics which talks about the reality of the particles. So also, ontological word means it is just talking about what is reality. But when I say mithya, or when I say doesn't mean it is not there. And as I said, English fellows don't have, English language doesn't have word. So they translate it as illusion and delusion. You might have heard this. Maya means illusion. Maya means delusion. We don't mean that. When we say Maya, it doesn't mean illusion. It doesn't mean delusion. What is Maya? Maya is Maya. What is mithya? Mithya is mithya. That's all it is. You cannot define it in that sense. Anyway, coming back to this, Tatha aksharat sambhavati iha vishwam. Iha, this vishwam, vividha pratyaya gamyam, that is known, recognized, appreciated through various cognitions. That is Jagat, Vishwam. In other words, this objective world, the world available for my perception. Aksharat sambhavati, it comes into being, not created, comes into manifestation. How does it come into manifestation? How it is created? Because of vivarta upadana karanam. And that means it manifestation happens. Of what? That which was unmanifest. And where it will go? Again, go back to unmanifest. Therefore, we say samsara chakra. Unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest, unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest, unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest, unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest. It goes on. And that Maya happens to be Trigunatmika, of the nature of three gunas. And since it's Upadana Karanam, Jagat is Trigunatmika. Maya is a Parinami Upadana Karanam, whereas this Brahman is Vivarta Upadana. Because of the Vivarta Karana, Swaswarupa Parityaga Abhavena, without undergoing any intrinsic change, it as though becomes a creator of this entire world. So it is unmanifest to manifestation. And from manifestation to going to unmanifest. From undifferentiated to differentiated. From differentiated to undifferentiated. What is undifferentiated? Gold. What is differentiated is ornaments. Then again undifferentiated is gold. That's how the cyclic creation goes. Okay? Tatha aksharat sambhavati vishwam. And there may be a further question, that how the Brahman, which is devoid of any attributes, devoid of any qualities, adrishyama grahyama chakshushotrama varnam tatha, that Brahman can be the cause of this creation. How can it be the intelligent cause? The earlier mantra is emphasizing on Brahman being a material cause. And it made further clear it is a vivarta upadanakara. It's a material cause, but what kind of material? Without undergoing any change, it appears as many. That is, that kind of material cause is Brahman. And how it is intelligent cause, that is explained or elaborated in the next mantra. See mantra number 8. Tapasa chiyate brahma, tapasa chiyate brahma, tatonnam abhijayate, tatonnam abhijayate, annat prano manas satyam, annat prano manas satyam, lokah karma suchamrutam, lokah karma suchamrutam. Tapasa chiyate brahma tato namajayate. Tapasa chiyate brahma tato namajayate. Annat prano satyam, annat prano manas satyam, lokah karma suchamrutam. Annat prano manas satyam, lokah karma suchamrutam. Shruti says, tapasa chiyate brahma. Brahma chiyate. Brahman bulges. Brahma swells as though. Like a seed, before it sprouts, it bulges. Keeping in that in mind, they says, tapasa chiyate brahma. How does it bulge? In case of a seed for bulging, some water, some land, some heat is necessary. But some external aiding factors are necessary for it to sprout, to bulge and sprout. Are there few other things that are necessary for Brahman to sprout? For Brahman, he says no. It bulges by itself. Tapasa chiyate brahma. Okay. Then what? Tato annam abhijayate. Abhijayate means born. Here, just take it as of now. I'll explain the meanings. Annam abhijayate. Annam is born. That annam is the unmanifest is born. First the Brahman sprouts. It swells to sprout. And when it sprouts, the first one is unmanifest annam. Abhijayate, it is born. Then he says annat prana. Here, annat prana manaha satyam lokaha, etc. From annam, from unmanifest, to pranaha. Pranaha means hiranyagarbha, total mind, samasti manaha. Then satyam, from it that comes out satyam. Satyam means 5 elements. Okay. Then comes out lokaha, different fields of experience. And then karmasu chamrutam. And then due to actions, karmasu, the actions performed by different jivatmas, varieties of jivatmas. What happens? He says, karmasu chamrutam. From the karmanaha phalam. Karmasu amrutam means the imperishable, undestructible from karma. What? Karma phalam. Nobody can destroy the karma phala. So, from that, karma phala is born. That's how the creation process it gives. Okay. This unmanifest to manifest, we can explain it by or compare it with our example. It is like from dream to waking. In a sleep to waking. In a deep sleep state. Entire world, objective world and subjective world. The world of people and the beings and the inner things, etc. And the subjective world of my memories and my knowledge and my anger and my frustration or my joys and happiness and everything is unmanifest. Then it comes out to manifest, unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest. So the Ishvara, tapasa. The word tapas has various meanings. Religious practices, religious austerities is tapas. Heat is tapas. Inquiry is tapas. Knowledge is also tapas. What meaning is applicable here? Tapas meaning knowledge is applicable. Tapasa chiyate brahma. So tapas means inquiry. Tapas means visualization, knowledge, manifesting the knowledge in a subtle form. First knowledge manifests in the mind and then it manifests in the gross form. But it is there. Knowledge is there in unmanifest form. Then it manifests. That happens for every lady of the home. When she decides to cook. My God, what is this? What to cook? It manifests in a thought form. The knowledge manifests. And then the manifestation of knowledge is actual dish on the dining table. Provided riches. In between, children don't eat away. Children, if it's a favorite dish, they finish it off before the dad comes. So, the tapasa chiyate Brahman means what? That Brahman identified with its knowledge. It as though brought into manifestation all his knowledge. But through what? If it was non-dual, then you have to add the intermediary factor called through Maya. Understand? So, what caused him to identify with the knowledge? What? Because this manifestation of the all knowledge that he had, which was in unmanifest form, that cause is Maya. When I am asleep, all the knowledge and memories and my pain and frustration, ambitions and desires, all unmanifest. What causes them, brings them to manifest? When I wake up, everything comes. Like Power saver mode screen. The screen has saved the power, and you touch the screen, everything lights up. All the files and the folders on the desktop, you can see. So what brings this? It is called Maya. Maya upahita Brahman, Maya upahita Chaitanya brings this knowledge into, total knowledge into manifestation, and that Brahman itself doesn't undergo any change. Mind you, even to bring out its unique creative power called Maya, it doesn't go under manifestation. Now, it is like Chayanam, bulging, like sprouting of the seed. That means creation is ready to manifest. It is an undifferentiated form. It is ready to be differentiated. That is tapasa, by knowledge. Tato vannam, etc. We'll see next week. It's long. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari